I see a big building, a lot of rooms,
and like comfy couches, for people to
lounges,
sit on. Yeah, definitely.
waiting rooms.
Kind of like the rooms you go in are like kind of dark.
Yeah.
Not too bright because that's loud, but like a little dark.
A lot of staff.
Yeah, nice people.
Basically, what I think a mental health treatment center is basically like a hospital somewhere where they go and operate on the brain or describe what the brain does to people and how that can help them or influence other people who have the same problem, and just try to figure out what the problem is with them, and then see how that can apply to others who have that same problem.
I think a mental health institution it's usually white, and each one has their own room, and they usually don't have a lot of furniture in there, and they usually have like common meeting rooms where like everybody goes like hang out.
I think a mental health hospital, in my mind, seems very gray and not very good place to be. Very dull place in my mind. That's just the picture that I have. So.
I think black walls, people in white suits, and I think of a lot of syringes being taken medicine. I think of like people being forced to like live in rooms or like all dull, like really tiny buildings. Everyone's sitting, all the patients are sitting very quietly.
When I think of a mental health institution, I think of like, the padded walls type of thing, which probably isn't true today, but that's just the picture that comes to my mind, and just like kind of white and very, not colorful, just very cold. Hopefully it's not like that, but that's what I think about.
When I hear mental health treatment center, I think of Jack Nicholson and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Can you describe it a little bit? What does it look like?
It's just a mental hospital with, I don't want to say evil, but like mean nurses. That's just the first thing I thought. That's probably not the best.
Mental health treatment center.
When I hear the word mental health treatment center, I keep getting Russell Crowe and A Beautiful Mind stuck in my head. Probably not as crazy as he was in that movie, but
Well, what does it look like? Can you describe it a little bit?
I probably think of either a hospital building or a government building of some sort that's been converted for other uses by the community. Probably a garden out front to give it some aesthetic pleasure, but it's still not exactly the most positive.
I think of Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and people trying to break out because they're crazy.
A mental health treatment center, I always think of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's a place where people go to receive treatment for mental health, like to speak with a counselor, to get medicine. That's what I think of.
The first thing I think of when I hear of a mental health treatment center is the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Of course, it's no longer running, and it wasn't a very good basis to use in new treatments and stuff because they were terrible. But they tried their best with what they had to help the people that had problems like depression or stuff like that, just to heal.
What I think of a mental health center, I'm gonna say a crazy place, and maybe some straitjackets, and I don't know, just a loony bin.
The first thing that comes into my head about a mental health facility is Trans-Allegheny. I guess it's used to be called the Lunatic Asylum, State Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia, down in Weston.
I just picture like a whole bunch of chairs, really soft, gentle music, lots of people smiling and kind of on the happy side, but not too happy because they don't want to like be, haha, I'm happy. Like happy.
I think of like a psychologist and just going to a psychologist for mental health.
Well, what do you think is like the actual place? Like, what comes to your mind?
Probably the medical center by the stadium. I go up there, hear kids there.
Okay.
I think a mental health treatment center, people, when you talk to them, they listen and understand what you're going through instead of saying, yes, you can do this to help. It's got glasses for the windows, but tinted where you can't see in it. And you actually get help instead of just being told.
When I hear a mental health center, I always think of a place that should be pretty, should be clean and beautiful, simply because, I mean, you're going through these things, and you don't want to feel in a place where you feel it's going to make you worse. You want to be in a place where you're relaxed and it makes you heal. That's what I think of when I think of a place, when I think of a mental health center or institution. It should be very comfortable.
Do you need my name or anything like that? Okay. A mental health treatment center is where you go and meet with a counselor and they help you with your mental health issues. Like talk to you about it and I don't know, I get to meet with them like once or twice a week. They help you out.
Mental health treatment centers where people will go to for either counseling or some kind of therapy that will help them with their condition. Like sometimes they use medicine to help people, but also they have non-medicine treatments that they try out first before they give someone a prescription, and it can either be for long-term or short-term treatment.
Alright. When I think of a mental health treatment facility, I kind of think of a clinical and hospital-like environment, but not necessarily so harsh. What comes to my mind is a more caring, nice things out, nice aesthetics in the room, so to make people feel comfortable and at home, which I'm sure water.
Take you to their hideout, as pirates often do.